Alright, before else, let's start with an apology. I apologize for the Yu-Gi-Oh content on the channel being so sporadic. I didn't even upload anything last weekend because I've just been busy catching up on things after PAX East. I have a lot of things on my plate, a lot more than I realized. And I have been working day and day and day and night and night and night, literally trying to get this stuff done. I am forcing my stuff to get out the house after I'm done recording these videos because I have been in my living room just recording for the past week and a half, if not more so. I think it's been like 10, 12 days since I've been home from PAX East. It's been a minute. So I apologize for it being late, but I am catching up now, and I'm ready to sit down. I can finally look at the full sets for not only Fusion Enforcers, but the Star Pack Battle Royal. As a matter of fact, I have those cards slated right here. This is Star Pack Battle Royal all right here. But you know what? We're not at that right now. That's going live tomorrow. Today, right now, we're going to be talking about the cards you need to get out of Fusion Enforcers, the top 5 reasons why you need to buy Fusion Enforcers. If you guys enjoyed this video, demolish the like button for me. Help the video to exceed, let's say 200 likes. 200 likes on these Yu-Gi-Oh videos, and tell me in the comments, what cards do you want the most out of Fusion Enforcers if you've already bought the packs? I know I'm a little late with this, and by a little late, I mean like a month late, but you know what? Better late than never. And speaking of that, shout outs to my friends at Konami for allowing me to, giving me the full set for me to look over for you guys and figure out the top 5 reasons why you need to buy this set. Before we get into this, one more announcement. I've soft announced it, and I will do a full launch when I can, but what is it? I will be opening an exclusive TCG channel for Yu-Gi-Oh content and more coming to the channel. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel for the official announcement. I'm a little nervous to be starting a new channel for that, but I mean, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it grows, you know. I want to expand Yu-Gi-Oh more, and I don't want to compromise the integrity of this channel as it is right now. So we're going to move Yu-Gi-Oh to his own channel, maybe get into some other TCGs. We'll try out Magic and Pokemon and all that. But TCG channel will be coming to your inbox very soon. But now, let's get into the top 5 reasons why you need to buy Fusion Enforcers. Reasons number 5 is right here on your screen. Polymerization, King of the Swamp, and Fusion Conscription. Now, Fusion Enforcer has a lot of old cards that you may want. You have like Summoner Monk, you have Summoner of Illusions, a lot of Fusion supports. You even get like the old school Polymerization, which is why I have it on here on this list, because I mean, before this set, the anime version of Polymerization was only available in Duelist Pack Yu-Gi, which is, you know, really hard to come by nowadays. So now you have this, and I think it works for you. I think it works rather nice. So I think that if you want Fusion monsters, even if you don't want them right now, Fusion monsters are going to be making a comeback. They are making a comeback, and they're everywhere right now, especially in this set. You have a set I'll get to at the very end. But King of the Swamp, Fusion Conscription, all cards that allow you to recover Polymerization, recover back fusion materials, stuff like that. And then King of the Swamp, you can discard that and pull Polymerization, or you can use it as a material for a fusion card. It's kind of like the Light Seal. No, not the Light Seal. What is it? It's a monster that can be used to substitute for a fusion material. I just can't think of the name. But King of the Swamp is the better version of it. You can drop it for Polymerization. You can use it for material. These cards you just want because they're splashable. They work in so many themed decks. And if you ever want to run a deck with a fusion monster, you're gonna want some of these cards. Number 4 reasons why you need to get Fusion Enforcers are these 3 cards right here. Instant Fusion, Elemental Hero Prisma, and Grisel Prison. Now, I like all of these cards, and the reason why they're number 4 is that these cards can be used in mostly any deck. Not so much cards that just have fusion components, such as, you know, the last 3 cards I just talked about. These cards, you can put them in any deck. Instant Fusion can allow you to get out the Sea King of Theseus or the Elder Northern King. I forget what exactly it's called, but basically, it's a level 4 fusion monster. When it's special summon, you can target one level 4 lower monster from your graveyard and special summon that. So it's a really quick way to get out some rank 4 plays, or even make a tuner play. I'm sorry, not a tuner play, an overlay play. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's instant fusion. Elemental Hero Prisma you can use if you want to send cards to the graveyard. I know for a while I was using Elemental Hero Prisma in my Dark Magician deck. I had a play where if I had Magician the Dark Illusion on the field, I would summon Elemental Hero Prisma and then use that effect to send Dark Magician to the graveyard by revealing the Dark Paladin in my extra deck. And then, because I activated the effect while Dark Illusion is on the field, the Dark Magician I just sent to the graveyard, I would special summon immediately. Those are some of the combos you can do to just send cards to the graveyard. And, you know, when you have them that way, not to mention, Elemental Hero Prisma becomes, well, the name of Elemental Hero Prisma becomes that monster. So if I wanted to, if I had Prisma, I could drop Dark Magician to the graveyard. Now it's considered Dark Magician. Then I use INVOKE, fusion summon with it to summon Amulet Dragon or Dark Paladin. So those are some of the examples that I use. So I think Elemental Hero Prisma is a good idea for a lot of decks. See what you can do with that card. And then Grisale, excuse me, I was saying it right. Well, I was saying it wrong the first time. Grisale Prism is a card that I like if you're running an old school deck. Old school theme. Because the way this trap card works is if you control a monster that is tribute summon, ritual summon, or fusion summon, I think that's it. Tribute, ritual, or fusion summon, you can activate that card and your opponent cannot XYZ or synchro summon for their turn. Now, why this card doesn't block pendulums, I do not know. Because I mean, I guess pendulums also work from a hand. I don't know why they didn't do it, but it's more so an extra deck lockdown. But yeah, your opponent cannot use any of the advanced extra deck techniques, so you cannot XYZ, you cannot synchro summon at all. So I like that card, and it's more so like if you're running a fusion monster, ritual monster, you can just throw it in there and it'll work. I think it's very splashable, especially if I want to be that guy. If you're running a ritual deck, you can use it in that deck. If you're using if I wanted to tribute some of my Dark Magician, I can drop Grisale Prison, and then there you go. So, I mean, those are just options. I think those three cards are definitely good reasons to buy Fusion Enforcers. Bro, I never looked into Fright Furs, but these are a decent archetype. I like them. They work so well. And it was so hard for me to decide on the very few you needed to get, but I decided on these as the main reasons to get it, because these are the cards you're going to need to actually make the big monsters, and you also have the big monsters. You have Fright Fur Kraken, where once the turn you can just target one monster your opponent controls, one monster, right? One monster your opponent controls and just send it to the graveyard. You're not destroying it, you're not banishing it, you're just sending it to the graveyard. Which means that if a monster has to be destroyed for its effect to be activated, it just bypasses it. And then at the end of the yeah, this is Fright Fur Kraken. And then this card cannot attack directly the turn that this card is used, but that's okay because you can attack. You can still attack, and this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. I know I'm reading it at this point, but I mean I just have bad memory. Excuse me. Once the turn at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, you can change this card to defense position, which means that you can get rid of a big monster, get rid of something that's just fat, and then you can attack a weaker monster, and then you can destroy that, and then at the end of the battle phase, you can switch it to defense mode and take advantage of its 3,000 defense points. It's wild. I love that thing. Not to mention it's level 8. It's really easy to summon. You have Fright Fur Fusion, which you're going to use to summon all your Fright Fur monsters. You can even use it to banish. You can use it to summon a Fright Fur monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your field or graveyard. Now, even though you can't use it from your hand, they have to be on the field or graveyard. The Fright Furs and the Fluffles and the Edge Imps and all that, they send monsters to the graveyard really easily. Not to mention, you have cards such as Foolish Burials and Foolish Burial Goods, so you can just send stuff to the graveyard as well. And then when you banish them, there are plenty of cards to take advantage of the banished pile. So you have a lot of options with Fright Fur Fusion, and I mean, it's necessary. I think you need to run it. Go do it. I want to look into, like, so let me know in the comments if you guys want to see a Fright Fur deck profile or like a review or something like that, because I'm interested now. I'm definitely interested in this deck. But we also have Fright Fur Tiger, who I like. He's really interesting. When this card is special summon or fusion summon, you can target cards on the field up to the number of fusion materials used for this fusion summon and destroy them. And all Fright Fur monsters you control gain 300 attack for each Fluffle monster and Fright Fur monster you control. So not the Edge Imps, but the Fright Furs and the Fluffles, everything gets 300 attacks, which means that when he's summoned on the field, he's already at 2,200. So that's a nice way to just get rid of a couple monsters your opponent controls. Is it monsters? Oh no, cards. any cards. So you can get rid of any problematic cards just by summoning Fright Fur Tiger, and then you can also buff up your monsters. So these Fright Furs, interesting archetype. I want to try them out. I'm definitely interested in seeing how they play more because I don't have much experience with them, but after reading, I'm like, yo, this is kind of interesting. Edgy, I'm going to be doing some work. So look into them yourself. Now, bear with me. I'm going to have to read the cards again, not because I forget the effects, but because these names are kind of hard to say. So, going from left to right, the number 2 reason why you need to buy Fusion Enforcers are the Predator Plants. These cards, again, another archetype I never really looked into, but after I was looking into it, I'm like, yo, they seem pretty interesting. Seem to play off of your opponents and just like taking their own monsters. However, I think the issue with cards like that, is that you also have to allow your opponent to set up a little bit, because the way they work is you want to give them predator counters, and then you can just like siphon them and do whatever you want with them. You change their typing, you change their level, and then like the predator plants, they take advantage of the level changes that you have, such as predator plants Spinodianella. Spinodianea. I think I'm saying that right. Spinodianea. Am I saying that right? Spinodianea? Let me know in the comments if I'm butchering that. But yeah, that card, 1800 attack, 0 defense. But you just want, it's a level 4 monster you can just summon. And when this card is normal or special summon, you can place 1 predator counter on your opponent's monster. That monster is level, because if its original level isn't 1, it becomes 1. And what else does it do? As long as it has a predator counter. Yeah, that's it. And also, if it battles a monster with an equal or lower level at the end of the damage step, you can special summon 1 predator plant monster from your deck, and you can do anything you want like that, such as the monster on your right, predator plant Clamio Sundu. I think I said that right. That was a lot easier to pronounce. Clamio Sundu. 600 attack, 200 defense. A dark plant. And when this card is on the field, you can make a fusion summon with your opponent's monsters if it has a predator plant monster, a predator plant counter. And you just take it up. And not to mention, and they're also treated as dark. So you can just send this monster to the graveyard, and any monster your opponent controls that has a predator plant, a predator counter, you can just take it and make a fusion summon into the Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon, who is a 3300 beat stick. Not even a beat stick. This card is actually really decent, but the effect is complicated. So bear with me. I'm gonna look down one more time. Must be a fusion summon. You need 1 predator plant monster plus 1 dark monster whose original level is 8 or higher. So if your opponent makes a big play, you just kind of just put a counter on it and then use the Clamio Sundu to just make a fusion summon with it. Must be fusion summon. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field until the end phase of this turn. Change that target's attack to 0. Also, that target has its effects negated. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, destroy as many monsters on the field as possible. Then you can banish 1 level 8 or higher dark monster from your graveyard and special summon this card from the graveyard. So you can wipe the field if this card is destroyed, and then if you have a level 8 or higher, is it level 8 or higher? Level 8 or higher dark type monster. If you have that in the graveyard, you can banish it, bring this card back. It's a cycle. It's so good. It's so good. I like it. I like the predator plants. I want to look more into the archetypes, so I think you need to buy Fusion Enforcers and scoop up some of them yourself. The only reason why you didn't expect these is because you did not look at Fusion Enforcers at all. The number 1 reason why you need to get this set are the invoked archetype. Alistair the Invoker and Invocation, the big money card in this set. Let me explain. You have the Invokers. They all focus off of Alistair the Invoker, and using Invocation, you can summon 1 of these 6 attributed invoked monsters. They all have different effects, whether they're a big beat stick or whether you can banish cards or whether you can negate effects by sending the same card from your hand to the graveyard. There are different cards you want to look into, but they all run off of these 2 cards, Alistair the Invoker and Invocation. Alistair, when he's in your hand, you can send him to the graveyard to target 1 fusion monster you control, and it gains 1000 attack and defense until the end of the turn. So that's a nice way to either do some more damage or catch your opponent off guard. I mean, I was dueling earlier and someone caught me with that. I'm like, oh shoot, shut me down. It's pretty much honest, or maybe Apprentice Illusion Magician. I mean, it's not as good as Apprentice Illusion Magician or honest, because those two are guaranteed, but they do give you a nice sudden boost that your opponent may not have been prepared for because it was in your hand. You also have the effect of when this card is normal summon or flip summon. Is it normal? If this card is normal or flip face up, you can add one invocation from your deck to your hand. Now, the reason why that's good is because invocation. First of all, invocation allows you to fusion summon a monster from your extra deck using monsters that are in your hand. But if you are fusion summoning an invoked monster, you can also banish monsters from your field or either player's graveyards in order to summon that monster. So, if Alistair is in the graveyard for whatever reason, you can banish him plus any monster that's on the field. Say I had Dark Magician in my graveyard, you can banish him in order to summon the Dark Invoked Fusion. And then the way invocation works is even better. When this card is in the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Alistair the Invokers. You return invocation to your deck, and if you do, you bring Alistair back to your hand. And then your normal summon Alistair, he allows you to search invocation, and you do it all over again. Do you see how free that is? It's stupid, but it's so good. I'm telling you, if you're facing this deck, you want to get rid of Alistair because he is the engine for the entire deck. Either that or invocation. If you are using it, you want to protect Alistair and you just want to recycle as much as possible. Get 3 of each in your deck. Run rampant. Destroy your opponent's graveyard, their field. Only your field or your opponent's graveyard. You can also banish monsters from your field and or either player's graveyard. So yeah, that's when cards like Raigeki, like Darko come into play, because you can just wipe the field, and then when in the graveyard you get invocation them. I mean, it's so good. I'm telling you, this. I need more so I can try this deck out. I don't know how I'm gonna get more invocations though, because I'm kind of broke and I can't really afford to buy an Infusion and Fortress, but I really want to. Maybe I'll sell off some of my cards, like the grass is greener, and I'll try to buy invocation. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. But that's the top 5 reasons. So let me know what you thought of my list. If there's anything else you think people need to scoop up, let me know in the comment section below, or let them know in the comment section below. And please, if you've been enjoying this video and you like the Yu-Gi-Oh content, please make sure you keep showing your support for it by hitting that like button. Again, we're going to try and hit the goal of 200 likes. And one more time to reiterate, dedicated Yu-Gi-Oh channel will be coming to you guys very soon. When I mean dedicated Yu-Gi-Oh, dedicated TCG channel, because I don't want to lock myself in and then get bored and then that channel just dies. You know, I want to try to do something with that. But that's it. That's all the time I got for you guys. So for now, it's time for me to dip. Stay hot, guys, and I'll see y'all next time. Tomorrow, actually, for this thing, for Star Battle Pack. For Star Battle Pack. You guys can't see what cards it is, but oh, you can see how sparkly it is though. Can you sparkle? Ah, there's a sparkle. There's a sparkle. Yeah! Star Battle.